Buenas and half a day, everyone. My name is Kiana Joy Yabut from Famalao'an Rights. This is Famalao'an Talks, and we're back at the Guam Women's Business Center for March. It's Women's Month. Happy Women's Month. And today, I've got some members of Famalao'an Rights with me. It's about time, I think, everybody kind of meets more of the team. And yeah, so I'm going to have our lovely members introduce themselves. Maybe we'll start with Steph, and then we'll do Chloe. Like, who are you? What do you do? You know, where are you from? All that great stuff.
So hi, good morning. I'm Stephanie Lorenzo. I'm the co-founder and the executive director of Famalao'an Rights. Been with the organization since it started. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chloe Weilbacher. I am the creative director for Famalao'an Rights, and I joined in 2022.
By the way, for those who don't know, I think a lot of people know me as just like the host of Famalao'an Talks, but I am also the chief relations officer and deputy director, and I work very closely with these lovely women that do a lot of work behind the scenes, who aren't always on camera. Yeah, so let's talk about it. I think, you know, not a lot of people know exactly kind of how Famalao'an Rights started. I think we had very humble beginnings. I don't know, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah.
Like, what was the idea, what was the vision, and how has it kind of grown?
So very humble beginnings, very grassroots. So the founder and myself, Maria de Lohan, we were actually Guam Youth Congress representatives, and it was around 2019 that the news broke out that a 12-year-old girl was impregnated as a result of sexual assault. And due to no abortion providers on the island, that 12-year-old child was forced to carry a fetus to term. And so we recognized that it was wrong. Like, we just had so much fire in us.
Yeah.
We were like, we were outraged, basically. And we decided during a recess of a Guam Youth Congress session that we wanted to kind of collaborate and, you know, push out resources for the community to know where to access abortions or really reproductive health care. And we started off as an educational campaign. We started off on Instagram. I mean, very much like, very much graphics were on Canva kind of thing. And now we've grown into a local
it's a
status.
Movement.
Yeah.
I dare call it a movement.
We are a local nonprofit organization with local status. We have plans to file for federal 501c3 status. And looking back now, I would have never have guessed that Famalao'an Rights from the very beginning would be where we are now today.
Yeah. Chloe, how'd you get involved?
So actually, me and Stephanie, we were working together, and she actually reached out to me to create the logo. And then she told me about the organization and all like the great work that you guys are doing. And I was like, can I like join? Like, can I be a part of this? I guess please. And so, yeah, after creating like basically the branding, I joined and
she
I'm
made
part of everything.
this.
Yeah,
really did.
This very
all the graphics you guys see on our page, I make it.
Chloe makes everything.
Chloe is
if you guys are a fan of anything that we posted and you're like, wow, that's really pretty, Chloe, creative mastermind behind every single thing.
Yeah.
By the way, before we had a logo, before you hopped on board, like our insert, like old profile picture here was a Google image.
It was.
It was like a free Google image.
It was.
And we had used it for the longest time, even throughout Bill 291 anti-Bill 291 campaigns. It was like a thing, and we have a banner of it. And then Chloe joined and kind of like built our brand and made everything a little bit more professional. And since then, she's been like just this powerhouse in our organization.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you're very humble, but like you're beyond words. I could say to Chloe like 3 things. Like I'll say like I want this, this, and this, and she'll make it better than like I could have like ever imagined.
Absolutely. I want to second that, because really like Chloe has to decipher the different like messages that we're trying to do. And I would have never have had that vision to create a graphic like that. And when she sends it to us for our review, I'm like, wow, that the tone, the colors, it really just like it moves people. It resonates with people. Yeah. So I love Chloe. I love you.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, we started out as an educational campaign. Yeah. So Famalao'an Rights was like, it was on Instagram and Facebook, and we were putting out like these posts just about kind of like information about abortion status on Guam, sexual health things, you know, everything related to the work that we do. We just put out information about it. And then eventually it just blew up when Bill 291 was introduced a few years ago, and we became kind of community organizers. And now we're community organizers. We provide resources to help people get medication abortion. We're looking to file for a federal 501c3, and it's just grown again. Like, I do dare say, into a movement. And I think the reproductive healthcare landscape and the way that people view the issue of abortion and of choice has greatly changed since we've grown as an organization. Yeah, I don't know.
I think something that we're doing too, and Fam Talks is one of it too, but we are destigmatizing the conversation around reproductive health care because our community, because our presence on social media and in the community, it's normalizing that we have to start talking about this taboo topic that's in the community. And that's what I also really love about our organization, is that we're trying to destigmatize and normalize reproductive health care.
Yeah, and I mean, again, sorry, I just want, like, back to Chloe. Like, I think, like, the way information is presented is very important.
For sure.
And prior to Chloe coming on board, I think it was really difficult for us to get our message out in the way that we wanted it to. But just, like, the way you're able to, like, organize information and use, like, the proper visuals has just been, like, immense in helping us send out our message to the community. So thank you.
I'm just glad to help, because I always get really excited, especially when we put out a graphic and see, like, it circulate and people talk about it on the news and stuff like that. And it's
right. You see all the reshares.
Yeah.
And, like, oh.
And honestly, like, I can't even remember before hearing about Famalao'an Rights, like, people actually talking about this subject locally. Like, I always hear about it, like, on Twitter or whatever, like, what's going on in the States.
Nationally.
Yeah, but then once I joined, I'm like, there's a whole community here. We're all on the same side, and we're all fighting for the same thing. Yeah.
And I think that's been kind of the centerpiece of our movement, is just, prior to being Famalao'an Rights or having something like Famalao'an Rights around, I didn't know there were so many pro-choice people, because you see, like, Rally for Life and you see, like, the church come out, but you've never seen pro-choice voices in, like, mainstream media and in...
Because it's like, what do you call it? Like, we're kind of being drowned out
by,
like, you know, all of that.
And I think having a space where people can, like, be joined with other people of, like, the pro-choice mindset is so important, because if I thought it was just me, I would never
you feel
say
powerful.
anything. You really do.
When you have,
really
like, a bunch of other people who, you know, we all feel the same way very strongly about the same thing. It's very comforting and very, it makes you feel strong with other people.
Yeah, very empowering. And I think that's something as a young organizer, is that by having the people that have done this for decades already kind of pass on the torch, kind of give us tips on how we can organize and mobilize. Like, I feel so powerful being in our community and knowing that, like, we're going to help each other out one way or another, and there's no judgment here. We're going to learn from each other. We're going to understand the different perspectives and the different backgrounds, the expertise, and that's kind of how we create our movement, is how just kind of being appreciative of being in that space too. Yeah,
no, and, you know, like we were talking about earlier, like, again, just the growth of it. I mean, like, to be sitting here filming Famalao'an Talks like this, in this kind of space, like, just 3 years ago was, like, unthinkable. I mean, I was doing it, like, in my bedroom, on my phone, via Zoom, on Instagram Live. And to have it of this caliber, and have, again, just another space for different voices to be heard throughout the entirety of a year is crazy. And I think it's a really, you know, kind of, like, important thing that we're continuing to do. And I'm glad that we've kind of grown as much as we did, because I started in Famalao'an Rights when I was a freshman in college. Since then, I've graduated. Like, I've really grown with the movement. Like, this organization has seen me go from, like, teenager to now, like I'm 23 now, and I mean, just I started when I was, like, barely making 18. And so, you know, it's just so wild to me. It is Women's Month, and I in thinking about the kind of guests that we wanted to have for Women's Month, I really wanted to have, like, you guys on, because, like, everybody, like, kind of knows me and they see me, but, like, I kind of want to talk about you guys and what you guys do in the organization. Maybe we can start with Chloe. So we know you do graphics. You know, like, just talk a little bit more about it. Like,
Well, I guess, yeah, like the way I think about it is just like, I'm just organizing your guys' message, right? So when you guys send me things, I'm basically like putting it together to push out to the community.
yeah.
And yeah, it's just been great. I really enjoy doing that for you guys. I guess if we're talking about like being a part of Famalao'an Rights, what I've always appreciated is like being a part of like a group of like very strong women, because all of us are like, we're all bad, honestly. And
Amazing.
yeah, I know I'm probably like, I think I'm the oldest one here, like in the org, like.
Perhaps.
Yeah, but I'm just like,
Perhaps.
you guys inspire me. Like, I want to grow up to be you.
That was something Chloe said to me from the very beginning. She's like, I know you're younger than me, but like I feel really inspired, and I like almost cried.
Yeah, because you guys have been in like youth congress and like you guys are making waves in the community. In the community, so it's just like, it's amazing to be a part of it, and
Yeah.
see you guys grow.
Yeah, you guys have really, we're like family.
Oh no, for sure.
We're like
we
family.
are.
To be honest, like, I don't think people know how heavy the work can get. When Famalao'an Talks first started, there were fears for like my safety, and if people were gonna come like hurt me. And then during Bill 291, we had so many like hate messages and threats, and that is very tolling on your mental health.
It really
And
is.
like nobody quite understands what that feels like except for you guys.
Except
like
for the people in the space.
Yeah, and that kind of like relationship is like very important. Like, we're not just some like corporate nonprofit business partners. I think of you guys like as my family. Like, I don't have older sisters, but I have you guys.
Aww.
Yeah.
You know. What about you, Steph? Steph does everything.
Yeah, she does.
Steph does everything.
So I really I think the best sentence I can describe is, I do whatever the organization needs to do to grow, whether it be like supporting the members, really empowering them, giving them the resources and the tools that they need to kind of exceed in their own field. That's what I feel like I do.
Yeah.
You're our leader.
Yeah, she really is. I mean,
I really don't consider myself a leader. I really
I do.
consider, okay, well, I consider, I use, what skills I have to kind of empower our members. And, I cannot be a graphic person. I cannot be like Allie, who's, by the way, Allie's doing all the behind the scenes. Like, she's incredible.
Yeah.
She's
Hi,
going to be in front of
Allie.
the camera one day.
She's our editor.
But really,
Hi,
like Ha'ani, Kiana, like, I will try my best to do the policy, and I will, but those are your strengths. And something that I want to do is I want to empower you to tap into your strength. I want to be able to, help you, give you the resources to really succeed in that area. And that's, So I think in summary, I do whatever the organization needs to do to grow.
Yeah, to prosper and to thrive. Yeah, she does like literally everything. Trust me, these two are being like very humble about it, but trust me, like they do more than like I can even explain.
Yeah.
So okay, let's transition a little bit because it is Women's Month. Yes. Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month.
Women's Month for me personally is every month, but specifically March is the month that is like internationally recognized as Women's Month. So I just want to talk, like, bring you guys in, like, we're all women.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about being a woman?
Being a part of the sisterhood. I think I love tapping into like my feminine energy and kind of
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Just kind of tapping into your feminine energy, kind of embracing that side a little bit more and what it looks like for you. Just gonna be like a girl's girl, kind of tap into that girl math and just really like I think that's my favorite part about being a woman is that even though society has such an immense pressure on us, just finding your community that you can be very authentic in is so important. And I find that in our Famalao'an Rights community and even in the wider reproductive healthcare community, like I can be myself and I don't have to kind of like be pressured into being anything else.
Yeah, I mean, like, what I have found is when women are in charge, things are just better. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And all the men in the comments are gonna be like, oh, that's sexist. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. I do. And, like, everything that I've done, women just have this way of doing it with such power and with such, again, that feminine energy. Like,
Yeah.
I can't explain this, but when you walk into a room of like strong, independent women, you just feel
Yeah.
like there's this feeling that comes
Yeah.
across from you,
Yeah.
as opposed to like walking in a room of like boring white men, and you kind of just feel like ugh. But when you walk into that kind of space, it's like
Yeah.
the energy, the
Yeah.
vibes,
Yeah.
like the ambiance is all like
Yeah,
we're
the
going
ambiance.
like empowered. Yeah, no, I
yeah, you get it, right?
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
get it. Okay, what about you, Chloe?
I feel especially, I think what I've noticed over the years is just, yeah, like very much women are being more empowered.
The best.
And they're finding that feminine energy and finding like communities of women. Because I remember being in like high school, and honestly, like if we're not like being completely honest, I was very much pick me in high school. I was very much like, oh,
wasn't
boys are
expecting
better,
that.
or like, you know, why are girls so dramatic?
Like, oh, I'd
like
rather
you know,
have friends who are boys.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because that's my insecurity. Like I was very much like, you know, to be accepted, you can't be too girly. You can't like, but I feel like
And
nowadays,
that is the patriarchy.
yeah,
invading
internal
your mind.
internal
Yes,
patriarchy.
yes, exactly,
And, yeah,
exactly.
I feel like seeing how society is now, being more female, having more female empowerment, it's amazing. Like just being in the feminine energy, being like lifting girls up, that whole thing, just like helping each other. It's been great. And it's just like, you know, how we're in like the Barbie era.
Yeah.
And, like
Barbie.
everyone's a
Hi, Barbie.
Swiftie and things like that.
And I'm wearing, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Barbie's dream house.
This is
Yeah.
Barbie.
Not Ken's dream house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just-
I completely agree. I mean, well, you know what I found to be so true is that when women in a country, in a town, in a city, in a village, when women are happy and doing well, the entire community is
Yeah.
happy and doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, what's the term? It's being in like a matrilineal society.
Yeah.
Like everyone takes care of everyone.
Yeah.
Like the children are raised together in the community and things
Yeah.
like that. And it's just like, yeah, like it feels more nurturing and empowering that way.
Yeah. And I think for me, something that one of the other things I like about being a woman and about being an organizer is that, so something that I regularly ask myself, I'm just kind of like reflecting on what you talked about, Key, but like, it's the power that we hold here. How can we sustain it? How can we teach young girls
Oh,
after
yeah,
us?
yeah.
And so something that I regularly ask myself is like, what is one thing that I can do right now, that I can do today to like advance the path for young girls
Yeah,
behind me?
yeah.
Like, I don't want them to view my journey as like, okay, I have to follow it. Like, no, I want my finishing line to be your starting line. Like, I want the young girls, like, if, you know, for you, the teenagers watching this, like, I want you guys to please exceed me, like, pass me in every field. Like, that is
Yeah.
my dream for you. Like, my dream, like, what I do today, what Famalao'an Rights does. Like,
Yeah.
we just want you to, like, go further. That, like, just please, like, any way we can, we will. Trust me.
Yeah. And like we had those kind of mentors in our lives. Like
Yeah.
we know people who fought the fight for reproductive justice in the 80s and the 90s. And, you know, to think that we're still fighting it, first of all, is crazy. But like they kind of set that ground for us to not be afraid to, you know, kind of keep going with it and know that even though abortion is legal now, there's still such a long way to go for safe, easy access to reproductive health care. So we're very lucky to have had kind of women to look up to, because I think if those women weren't there, then we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did. And it's crazy to think that like we're kind of getting a little bit old and like becoming those I would hope that we're becoming those mentors for
And
people.
then we pass the torch. to the
Yeah,
next
and it's like,
generation,
and then I'm gonna be like one that's like, oh, remember back in my day when we only had medication abortion.
And I think for me, I'm so excited to see what the young girls are gonna do after us.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I am
Yeah.
so excited, because once they take over, I just want to see how far they can take accessibility for reproductive health care. Like, again, exceed us in every field. Like, please do. Like, that is our hope for you. That's my dream for you, is to please pass us.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope, and I mean, I believe that we will get to a point one day where like being like, a powerful bad woman is the norm, and not something that's like, oh, like it's really cool that like she broke out into this field. Like I want it to be like Barbie land, like we're the Supreme Court. And when she came to regular world, when she's like, wait a minute, like what is this? Like I want it to be like that where it's like not the norm for women to be
to hold power.
To hold power. Thank you. It's just great. It's great being a woman. There are struggles that only women can understand each other about. And like it's not always sunshine and rainbows. Like I'm not gonna. It's also very hard being a woman.
It really is.
So let's like kind of switch tones. Like I want to talk about this too because it's hard. First of all, having periods are a very hard thing. Menopause is a really hard thing.
Just like getting birth control can be very difficult too.
Giving birth. Everything about being a woman just kind of sets you up for hardship. And it's about kind of like overcoming those hardships. That really is the mark of women and great women. Men could never. Just they really couldn't. Like they really couldn't. I promise you they couldn't. Did you guys see that thing where like period cramps are like the equivalent of like having a heart attack?
That doesn't surprise me.
Because it hurts.
It does.
And like I truly believe men could never. Oh my God, thank you guys so much for coming. It's such again, I love you guys. You guys are some of my bestest friends. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. So if there is anything like that left that you want to say to the people, anything that you want at all, now is your time.
We at Famalao'an Rights, we do not know everything. We don't claim to know everything, but what
we really don't.
But what we can say is that we will help you every step of the way that we can, to the best of our knowledge, to the best of our abilities, and to the best of our expertise. And we will we recognize if we don't know it, and we will connect you with someone that will. And that is, please don't be afraid to reach out to us. Something about our organization that I love is that we are that older sister, and that
we've always said that.
We are the older sister. We don't know everything, but we won't make you go through it alone. So please reach out to us, social media.
We're really here to help as much as an older sister can. We're all older sisters to somebody. So all of you guys, you mean a lot to us. Thank you so much for supporting us. It's been quite the journey, and we're so glad to serve you guys and do everything that we can to make our community better. Chloe?
Steph's kind of said it all.
All right. Okay, then one last question for you guys. We'll go with Steph first and then Chloe. We ask this to every guest at the end of every episode. Who is your favorite woman?
The woman in my life. My mom, my sister, my mother-in-law.
She said first, second, and third place.
But really, like my mom and my sister, they have inspired me in everything that I've ever done. They are truly the backbone to what I do, and they are not afraid to keep me grounded. They are not afraid to put me in my place. And
it's important.
And as much as all of the extracurricular activities that I do, they're always like, I think you're overwhelming yourself. They will call me out on it, and sometimes you just need that. And so those are my favorite people. My favorite political person has to be AOC. I love her. I want to be her one day.
All right, Chloe?
I guess very similar to stuff. My favorite women in my life are my sisters. I just spent the day with them today, actually. And just just being with them, and, they're not just your sisters, they're built-in best friends, basically.
Aww. That's such a great way to put it. Okay, well then, happy Women's Month, everybody. This has been a really great episode with you two. Again, my name is Kiana Joy Yabut from Famalao'an Rights. This is Famalao'an Talks, and we will see you guys next month. Bye.